On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
If you are nurturing a friendship with a woman and she has not committed to you in a relationship sense, then you're wasting your time, because she could be getting that same energy from 10 other dudes just like you, and you wouldn't know it. I mean, that's real. And most likely, if she's gleaning that emotional labor from you without trying to give her commitment to you, she's probably got a couple of other people doing that as well. If your wife is different, then she's
not. Who's to say that a woman is not getting that same level of attention and, building these same type of friendships or relationships from multiple other guys, even if it's not necessarily coming from you and that dynamic in the way in which you're describing it?
Courtney, I'll let you chime in on this one. If there's trust, why can't significant others have friends of the opposite sex? Or can they?
Well, I would say no. I think when you get married, a lot of stuff should cease. And if you have a friend, before me, y'all can still be cool, but you have to let her know, things have changed. I am married now. Out of respect for my wife, you can't call me like that no more. I'm not hanging out with you getting a beer no more, unless my wife is there.
I agree with that.
So it's respect. It's not a good look. And for me in a relationship, I want to make sure that I respect my mate. And, my mom always used to tell me this. She was like, always try to remain blameless. So what you do, your actions of what you do, always make it where can't nobody blame you for something. So I'm not going to put myself in a situation where it's going to do a side eye or seem disrespectful. So all that best friend stuff, significant other, that got to cease. So no, you can be cool. What's up? All right. Having a party, you can come through, then leave.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that in terms of boundaries. Just, things do change. Like I've had, let's say back when I was single, I've had male friends, and then when they get a girlfriend or whatever, I understand that our relationship is not it's not even a conversation their girl has to have with me, or it's not even something that has to happen, because I understand that the dynamics change when a person enters into a relationship. So I completely agree with that. And I feel like it kind of naturally falls into place, or at least it has, in my experience.
Sorry, Kay, can I ask a question? Following that up, if your presence is disrespectful to your male friend when his woman is around, then how do you consider that a true friendship?
You said your who?
Say it again.
If your presence, you said if you had a male friend, right, that the dynamics would change if he got a girl, right? And that if you were around, that would be disrespectful, right? How is that a real friend? How is that a true friend if your presence being around is disrespectful to that person?
Well,
I didn't say that. Right. I didn't. Oh, she's talking to you. Okay. Are you talking to Courtney?
No, I'm talking to Kay. I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what's the nature of that friendship if it changes based on that person's relationships?
I get exactly what you're saying, but I never said that my presence would be disrespectful. I never said that.
Oh, really?
I didn't. I said that the nature of a friendship changes because when someone gets a romantic partner, they generally don't hang out with their friends as much. I didn't say my presence would be disrespectful. I'm saying that I wouldn't be like, oh, come on, friend. I wouldn't even do that, because I understand when you get a woman, I'm just a female friend, or hell, any friends aren't gonna be at the forefront, because usually when someone's dating someone, those people become the priority. So I didn't say that me being there would be disrespectful. I never said that. But I get what you're saying, because you're asking how could you be considered a real friend if there's these types of stipulations? But my thing is, it's not that there are these stipulations. It's that is the natural order of things in every experience I've ever had in life. Me personally, if I let's say in college or something, I'm friends with a guy, and he starts dating someone, I am not going to hang out with him as much because he's hanging out with her, and that's no problem. I understand that that's what happens when people start dating someone. Like, the friends that you can't trust are the ones that be trying to be like, your girl is tripping. Why can't you? No, I think friends should respect the woman that their friend is dating. They should respect their friend. They shouldn't even make it into a big deal, because like you said, I would then wonder, what kind of friend is that if you are trying to put your male friend in a situation that's not good for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to have my male friend in an argument with his woman over me. Like, I would never want that to happen. So it wouldn't even be a conversation. I would understand.
I think that example is a little extreme, because no one obviously wants to be in a fight over another person in your relationship. But so I guess we could bring it down to this level. You think that if a man is in a relationship, he shouldn't have any friends he confides in regularly?
I didn't say that.
So I'm asking.
Make it specific. He shouldn't have any female friends
that he confides in.
Is that how you feel specifically? Okay.
In my relationship.
No, just generally, not for you, generally.
Well, I can't speak on it in general because I don't know what other people are comfortable with. Like, I can't speak for everybody.
Anything with Kay has to be personally.
No. Let me step in for a minute, because I understand where Kay is coming from. So let me ask you a question, Danielle. Because we saying that relationship dating, let's change the dynamics to married, right? Do you think that a guy, your husband, or a husband, I'm not gonna say your husband, I don't like to use your specific situation unless you insert yourself into it, right? Do you think that it's cool that a guy that has a female friend or whatever like that, right, and then he gets married, you think that it's still cool for him to be confiding in her as his female friend?
You're asking me?
Yes.
No. No.
Well, there you have it. It solves that.
Well, yeah, that was where I was going with that. I mean, I just think that if the nature of your friendship is going to change because of your gender, I don't really find that to be a true friendship. That's just.
But I mean, the nature of the friendship did change when you got married, though, right?
Again, I don't really think even before you get married that women and men, I never defined that, oh yeah, you should have a friend before marriage that's a male either. So I don't think it changes regardless. I think it's still going to be that same.
Wait. Are you saying that before you get married, you shouldn't have male friends?
I mean, so if I'm speaking personally, I have never had a male friend that wasn't gay, ever.
I was about to say that. I don't believe in platonic relationships.
I don't get it. I personally don't, because if I'm having a male friend, I'm getting emotional labor from him. I know, because that's how I deal with my friendships. And I don't think that men should be giving emotional labor to women who they are not getting something in return, aka submission or a relationship. Sex.
Okay, so let me give you a different example then. The foundation of me and my wife's relationship was friendship. Literally. That was the way in which I was able to truly understand and learn who she was without the presentation layer, without people always putting on the best front possible in order to try to impress the person that they dating. It was a genuine friendship. Like, she was the girl that I told about, like, I would tell her about all of the other girls that I was messing with or whatever like that. And she was just like a true G, you know, when it came to us building a foundation that I didn't even know that we were building through the friendship. Does that change the dynamic of it a little bit?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What did she get from your friendship?
You'd have to ask her that.
I think that matters, because I think most men, if she's getting something fulfilling from y'all's friendship, then that's something that I think most men wouldn't be willing to do with a woman who they didn't feel was reciprocating a womanly, feminine support to them.
Well, the only reason I asked that question is because me personally, I feel like the foundation of a relationship should be based on things that are much stronger than looks and whatever it is that people identify as dating, or the presentation, or all of the different things. You don't truly get to understand and know a person until you start to dig deeper. And that can't come from just asking questions or all that. Has to come from genuinely being around people that's conducive and moving in the direction that you're moving. But based off of what you're saying, right? And I'm not saying that applying this to your situation, but just your philosophy towards friendships and the dynamics between men and women, it's impossible for you to be able to build that if you don't approach it from that perspective.
I think that I'm looking at it more from what's best for a man, in going into friendships with women if they so choose to. I
As a
personally,
single man or as a married man?
as a single man, I
Right.
personally believe that if you are nurturing a friendship with a woman and she has not committed to you in a relationship sense, then you're wasting your time, because she could be getting that same energy from 10 other dudes just like you, and you wouldn't know it. I mean, that's real. And most likely, if she's gleaning that emotional labor from you without trying to give her commitment to you, she's probably got a couple of other people doing that as well. If your wife is
But
different, then she's
not? Who's to say that a woman is not getting that same level of attention and building these same type of friendships or relationships from multiple other guys, even if it's not necessarily coming from you in that dynamic in the way in which you describing it?
I mean, you're talking about people, what if they're lying or not. I'm talking about a person who's giving their word. You know what I mean? Like if a woman is saying, "Oh no, we're friend zone," that's her communicating, "I don't owe you anything," right? I believe that if she's able to commit to you, then you know that she's committing to you. That's, at least you have her word. So at least you can hold her to that accountability wise. If you don't have that, you don't have any control over that woman if she's just your friend.
Well, why would I? Well, I don't know. We going down a rabbit hole. So I know JR got other questions he want to answer. So,
Yeah,
but this is a good conversation. I like this exchange. I think it's dope.